Hey guys, welcome back to another client tutorial. This is a really bright neon cut crease. I hope you guys like it. So I'm just priming her eyelids with some Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I go right underneath the brows and define them with a synthetic brush. I'm using the Visor Brights palette. I'm using the orange shade from that palette to start buffing that into her crease. I'm using quite a tapered natural hair crease brush just to buff that orange in, as opposed to using a large fluffy brush. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want the most colour payoff out of the shadow, and I want it to be directly in her crease. I'm now taking the bright yellow out of that same Visor Brights palette, and I'm just using a larger fluffy brush to start buffing out the edges of that orange. I find that using small circular strokes instead of large windshield wiper strokes works better when blending out bright colours, because it keeps the vibrancy of the shadow there, which is what we want for this bright look. Now I'm just going back in with the first orange shade that I used on the smaller brush and just re-going over everything, making it a little bit brighter. And I do the same with the yellow shade as well on the larger blending brush. I'm now using the Pleaseeee base on a flat synthetic brush, a definer brush, just to start carving out her crease. I usually place the base more in the center of the eyelid as opposed to up high in the crease, and then get my client or model to open their eyes, and it leaves a line, as you can see, shows you exactly where you need to cut the crease. In doing this step, I make sure that I lift up the brow just to get a really clean, defined line with the brush and the base. I like to use small strokes and then get some more product on my brush and then continue going along the line of the crease just to make sure that everything's coloured in nicely. Then grab some more of that original orange shade and just tap that on the edge of the base just to start blending out the edges. I'm now packing on a loose pigment onto the lid with a synthetic brush. This pigment is from Peaches and Cream, or Peaches Makeup on Instagram, and the pigment is called Super Freak. I then put on some glitter glue. I've used the Ben Nye glitter glue for this look, and then I'm popping on top the Certified Neon Lemon Glitter Pigment. Now I'm just going to line the eyes with the Inglot 77 gel liner on the Zoeva winged liner brush. Now when I do a winged liner, I like to get the client to look straight down at the floor and start mapping out the wing where I would like it to go. As you can see, I've left quite a bit of space between the corner of her eye and the line that I'm drawing for my winged liner. This is so that when we smoke out the lower lash line that everything joins and the lower lash line doesn't stick out. It'll make more sense once we get to that part. I'm now just priming her skin with the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. For foundation, I mixed the NARS Radiant Foundation, that's their newest foundation, with the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. I like to apply foundation with a flat synthetic brush. I feel like I get the most coverage when I use a brush like this as opposed to going straight in with a beauty blender. I will sometimes go over the skin with the beauty blender once I've popped it on with the brush. It just depends on the client and their skin. For the eye area, just to get around the eyeshadow, I always just use a smaller fluffy brush, just using the same foundation. I'm now popping some colour corrector underneath her eyes. This is the Bobbi Brown corrector in Dark Peach. I'm now highlighting her face with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light. And I'm just blending out that concealer with a damp sponge. This one is from Dirty 30s. They make great sponges. They're really soft, easy to use. They come in a pack of 30, which is amazing for makeup artists. Now I'm just going to set that concealer in place using the same damp sponge with the RCMA translucent powder. Before I set the rest of her face, I'm going to do some cream contour. I like to use the Hourglass Spanish stick in the shade Sable to cream contour. Oh, and if you're wondering what brushes I like to use, my favourite are the ones from the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill collection. They're the ones with the white handles that you can see me using here. Then going to set the rest of her face with the MAC Studio Fix powder in the shade NC45 and also blending that down her neck too. To start smoking out the lower lash line, I like to take a black shadow on a flat definer brush. I've left that translucent powder under her eyes just to make sure that I don't make a mess and ruin her base. I always make sure I get right underneath the lashes, right up into the lower lash line to make sure it's nice and black. Now you can see why I left so much space when I was doing the winged liner at the top of the eye. Notice how the lower lash line and the top of the eye joins together. Now I'm grabbing a small pencil brush and going in with the orange and yellow shades that we used earlier just to buff out that black shadow. I'm just using a duo fiber brush to flick off the excess translucent powder and to clean up the under eye. Now I'm going to pop some black liner inside the top and lower waterline. This one is amazing, it's from Zoeva, it's the Graphic Eyes black pencil. She already has amazing brows, so I'm just going to slightly fill in the gaps with the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in 03. To start contouring the face, I'm using Benefit Hoola on a contour brush. I'm then going in with the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion Bronzer just to further warm up the skin. This bronzer is amazing for fake tan and for a deeper skin tone. I'm now just cleaning up the contour with a bit of the RCMA translucent powder just to crispen that up a little bit. I'm also just adding some blush. This one is from the Inglot Freedom System Face Blush in the shade 30. For highlight, I'm using the Inglot Sparkling Dust in the shade 03, taking my time to build that up slowly so the glitter doesn't fly all over the face. This shade is a very bronzy gold, it looks amazing on a deeper skin tone. For lashes, I'm using the Tati lashes in the style TL Mitchell. They're a really fluffy, full lash, looks great on my model's big eyelids. Now for lips, I'm using MAC Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Spice. I'm then going on top with Peach's Honey Gloss. Then at the end, I like to just go over the cheeks, the bronzer, the blush and the highlight just to redefine them all. And just using the Kat Von D Lock-It setting spray to set the makeup. But why do you look so hot?
I don't.
But you look so good.
This music's just making me like.
I know, it's like hyping you up.
No, don't.
That highlight looks so good.